the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Tuesday morning. We are glad that you have joined us wherever and whenever it is that you tune us in here on the Auburn Blitz and make an Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. Brett and Faith here on a recorded pod this Tuesday morning, so we won't be able to interact with you guys live, but throw those comments out there. We see them, and we appreciate it, and you guys can communicate with each other. Had to get this done, got practice this morning. That we'll be attending. So looking forward to getting over there because obviously some interesting things to see, namely quarterback position as we roll into this game against Mercer on Saturday afternoon. Good morning, Faith. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you too, as always.
And again, like we said, it's never dull. DJ Durkin met with everyone yesterday, kind of the typical Monday game week press conference to get the week started, and just went through some things. Obviously kind of an opening statement about how he commended the team of preparation and handling things during the off week, and then you got down to business with the first question. Like, it didn't matter who asked it, it was going to be if you had been called on to get asked the first question and you did not ask about the quarterback, then you should have been banished from journalism forever. I mean, whoever it was had to ask that question, and that's what it was. He even kidded and said, "Hey, I had a bet that would be the first question," and he kind of pumped his fist, and everybody laughed. But he said that the first part of it was Ashton Daniels would not be playing in this game, and it was a joint decision. And thought he explained that well, Faith, about how it's about what's best for the program, but it's also about what's best for the players.
Yeah, when he was talking about it, he was talking about how big of a run, whether or not Ashton decides to stay or not, he could have next year. And by letting him take this opportunity to preserve this red shirt that he can have, but also a great game for this to be for him to sit out before going into the Iron Bowl. That's something that we've been talking about, and I know we'll talk about it more and more, but I mean, you couldn't ask for a better ending of your season and having the second to last game be in order to also save your redshirt year.
I've got some thoughts on just the big picture of what it's like to compete and what you don't know, the future. You don't know what's coming, and it's easy to think that you know what's coming. You don't. If you go back to spring and then you go into fall camp, Ashton Daniels was not being talked about. I mean, when you look at it from a standpoint of, and this is like a message to all the young kids out there that maybe get dejected and feel like they get forgotten, and get pushed down the roster. And, all Ashton Daniels did was continue to show up and be a team player and work hard and take advantage of the opportunities in practice he had, and was ready when his number was called. I think that's the huge thing. And now, again, is he the savior of the program? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Jackson Arnold was the sought-after guy in the portal by Hugh Freeze. He brings him in. He names him the starting quarterback immediately after spring football practice. So we knew going into fall, this was, normally there's a debate. Who's going to be the starter? Wait to fall camp, blah, blah, blah. Well, it was Jackson Arnold from the get-go. And, out of the gate, it felt like it was a pretty good decision with Baylor. And then you had a couple of teams that you came home and played that you got wins, and then you get on the road and things didn't look so good, and it kind of spiraled into what it became, and him getting benched in the second half of the Arkansas game and Ashton taking over. And now look, Ashton hadn't burned the woods up either, but obviously a lot more poised and a lot more confident in what he's doing. And of course, Deuce being the guy also now sitting over there, and we're going to get to him in a minute. But I just thought that was huge that now here we are going into a Mercer game where they want to sit Ashton Daniels because they feel that he's that important to the program, and that's important for him to have that red shirt for his own personal sake too. And he's about to play in 2 weeks in the biggest football game of his life. Even though there's not a lot at stake for Auburn, there is for Alabama, and it's the rivalry. It's the Iron Bowl. You're the starting quarterback for Auburn in the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare Stadium. I mean, you just never know what's coming down the line for you. You just got to keep plugging.
Yeah, you saw how he was thrown in at the ending of the first half in Arkansas, and how, he was ready when his name got called. And then with the week of preparation, it kind of set him back a little bit. But then after that, we've seen better from him. And that's kind of where you want him to keep getting better, and you want to see him, what will you see from, really it'll be, you had the week off for your bye week, then he'll have the week off because he's not going to be playing against Mercer, and then he'll have the week to prepare for the Iron Bowl in the game week. That's 3 big weeks that I'm sure he's really sitting and thinking about and preparing himself for a different team that he's going to see compared to some of the other teams that he's already played against.
And it looked like, what we saw at Vanderbilt under Derek Nix, a guy that was very confident and understood the offense and ran that offense to perfection. You look at his numbers and what he was able to put up, the points Auburn was able to put up, and it was a lot him. Him rushing the football and throwing the football had a tremendous night. And, kudos to Vanderbilt for just finding a way. That's what they've done all season outside of 2 games. And they had a chance to win both. This is a uncanny season for Vanderbilt. And, again, they've got 2 more games that they're easily could win. And you're looking at a Vanderbilt team in the playoffs. So to go on the road and play in that environment for Ashton Daniels to really get his first true road start. He came in against Arkansas, like you said, but where you knew you were preparing to go on the road and in amongst all the turmoil. Let's just be honest. Say what you want. You don't have a head coach now, and you got an interim, and you're in a short week and trying to prepare and do all that. And I thought he handled it extremely well. So
he was also put in the position for him to be successful in. I don't think he was put in a position of, all right, this is how the whole offense in its entirety and the guy that's running the offense is going to be successful against the Kentucky team. It wasn't a good Kentucky team that you were going out there playing. It was a bad one. And so you saw the kind of preparation that was actually benefiting him and his skills, and also the rest of the offenses.
And I think, more ammo toward Hugh Freeze. The quarterback you saw in the Kentucky game was the same quarterback you saw in the Vanderbilt game. And it was not the same guy. He didn't just all of a sudden from one week to the next just become this superstar quarterback. He had that ability the whole time. It's by far the way the plays were being called and the way things were being done on offense. So you move forward, preparation of Mercer. He's not in the mix. So in steps Deuce Knight, and DJ Durkin talked about that yesterday. And this is what he said. He said basically, so again, we haven't decided starters and all that, but both quarterbacks, alluding to Jackson Arnold and Deuce Knight, are going to play in the game, and we'll make the determination later in the week. I think Deuce is like any other guy. You give him a plan and you give him the right tools to help him that suit his strengths. I think, again, it's about the teammates around you. The quarterback position gets the spotlight, obviously. They often get more credit than they deserve and definitely get more blame than they deserve, but it's about the guys around you. I think Deuce understands that too. He's got great players around him, and his job to be the distributor of the ball to those guys, and that's what we're going to ask him to do. It was funny that the follow-up question after that, there was another question about, I think Jason asked it on, so who would the starting quarterback be? And he said, he said, both guys are going to play. And then immediately following that question, Mike said, okay, so when Deuce starts, and that's when he said, look, we haven't said that. But I think it's pretty much, unless something crazy happens this week at practice, I think Deuce Knight gets that nod, and then you kind of see how it plays out. But Faith, I don't really see the point of playing Jackson Arnold in this game. I mean, I don't. If you're going to really give it to Deuce, you're going to let him have the reps in practice, the majority of the first team kid. Let this kid go out there and see what he can do. And I know that DJ Durkin had to do the PC thing and kind of do the coach speak thing, saying, well, we're going to play both. And it's good to have him available. But I think you need to make a decision and go, we're starting Deuce Knight. It's his game. And let's see what he can do in 4 quarters.
Let him go ball out. Like, he can. And
Yes.
We've been able to see him practice some of his really, really good moments. And you haven't let him go out there. And I'm not saying this is as Durkin or anything. I mean, this is kind of Hugh. You didn't let him go out there and have a moment, except when he failed, you pulled him out immediately. And that happens. And when you're throwing them in there under fire and not the right circumstances, you let him out there. He gets taken down. I don't even remember what happened at this point, but I know he got yanked out 2 snaps after being in. Let him go out there and let him ball out. Like, that's seriously what he's coming to Auburn to learn to do, and hasn't had any sort of opportunity. This is the perfect chance for him.
And you saw him majority of the time in the A-Day game because Jackson Arnold was hurt. So it was really Deuce Knight in the A-Day game out there. And you saw him, he was one of the ones that we interviewed after the game, and he was talking about learning and growing from some of the mistakes and some things he did, but some of the good things he did. Really haven't seen much of Deuce Knight since the A-Day game, so this is an opportunity. And again, I get what DJ Durkin was saying, but the right decision is to play Deuce Knight. And the right decision is to let him go out there and not be worried about looking over his shoulder about, well, are we going to – or not worried about you're going to get the first 3 drives and then Jackson's going to get the next 2. And just don't do that. Like, if he comes out there and it's just terrible and he can't move the ball at all, which I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm just saying, then, of course, you would need to make a change or whatever. But don't do that. Like, let Deuce Knight – let this be his opportunity, and let him feel like, okay, yes – I'm going to be able to battle for this position moving forward, whoever the coaching staff is, but, give him an opportunity on Saturday. And let it be.
I agree with you 100%.
Yep. And I think you said it about the best way you could say it. Let him go ball. Let him go ball out and see what happens. So preparing for that, as far as moving into the next part of what we want to talk about with the coaching search, he was asked on interviewing for the permanent head coaching job, and we'll talk about that when we come back. I want to talk about some of our partners here, and we always start with Sensagreen.
Sensagreen for air that's cool and clean this fall during dollar days. Call Sensagreen for major discounts on HVAC repairs and installs, plus installation with Professor Greenbacks. Get HVAC smart at sensagreen.com through Thanksgiving with up to $100 off HVAC repairs, $500 off installation work, and $1,500 off new HVAC system. Sensagreen with Carrier, turn to the experts. How cool are these coupons?
Don't have much time before Thanksgiving, so it's right around the corner. Get your Carrier unit in place. Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm in Birmingham, working with all different types of agencies. Why do you hire Scout Program Management? Because they come in and they take you from the pre-construction phase all the way to the finished product. And you don't have time nor the expertise to do it. And when you're spending millions of dollars, You need somebody that's going to hold people accountable. And I'm witnessing it personally right now, how they're handling a massive project, $100+ million project. They've been in charge from start to finish. And man, they do tremendous work. So if you're in that business, if you're an educational institution, or you are a municipality, you need to call on Scout Program Management to handle your next project. You'll know why when you hire them.
Bunkers in downtown Auburn. Go to Bunkers for the basketball game tomorrow night, because Wednesday is when they open up for the weekends. Go there for the basketball game. Go for the football game on Saturday. They're going to have some live music. They're going to have Jell-O shots. Great happy hour deals every single night of the week, obviously. And great food always. Lots of fun. 50 parking spaces downtown. Head over to Bunkers. You won't regret it.
No, absolutely, you will not. Don't force us to make you have fun. Just go do it yourself. Go to Bunkers. All right. So ask about interviewing for the job. He said, I view every day here on the job as an interview. I think you're getting a good glimpse of what I can, or what I would be as a head coach here. So I just treat it that way. Certainly there's conversations almost daily with our administration about a lot of things in the program. So that's how it is. Our focus is solely on this team right now and preparing for a game this week. And that's it. Those things I think will play out and handle themselves. But, again, in fairness to DJ Durkin, he's been thrust into this interim role. Plus, he's a candidate for the permanent job, and he's having to answer all these questions and talk about everything regarding the program. And he's out, seeing recruits, and he's just all over the place. And, kudos to him. I think he's a really, really good guy. I think he's bought in to Auburn. I still don't think he will be the head coach. I just feel that way. I mean, I will be fine if he is. I'm not saying that I don't want him to be the head coach. I'm just saying I don't think when the dust settles that he will be the head coach. Now, will he still be in some role at Auburn? Maybe the defensive, continue to be the defensive coordinator. I think possibly so, depending on who the choice is from John Cohen and the other people that are going to help him collectively. Let's be honest, collectively make that decision. He may make the announcement, but he's not just going to go out there and solely make this thing his own. I mean, I heard what he said, but there's just no way that, he's not going to have some discussions with other people. So that's another conversation for another day. But DJ Durkin is a class act, and you can definitely be happy with a guy like that leading the charge for your program. But again, I don't think it will be him. And I think you feel the same way, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But, still, even the confidence in him, in his answers, somebody asked about just like the benefits of having a bye week as an interim. Right. And he said, I think in this game, we're a lot more settled into what the new norm is and what that looks like for me in particular as well. I mean, again, love the confidence of him being assertive in this team, how this is his team now. He's the one making all the decisions. And again, you've got to find you can't stretch yourself so thin that you're not able to get to certain parts. And I think this week definitely helped with where his role is on the field. And,
right.
We didn't have a practice this last week that we could go to, which is probably good for everyone over analyzing every single move and step that, he would be taking. Right. But again, this upcoming week today at practice is probably going to look the same as it did the other week. But I mean, still very interested to see, but I really do like to see his confidence and the way that he's taking control of this in the situation and in the manner he was given in.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's done exactly what you expected from him, and he's handled it. He's handled it great. A couple of questions about the Vanderbilt game, and he said, one was, about the things that went on during the game, but he said, that game kind of changed. They went to a different offense than what they've been running the past 2 years. She kind of changed what we've been practicing and looking at. And I think that's fair also for Vanderbilt because they didn't know what the heck to expect either. And maybe that's why it resulted in so many points on both sides. But he came back and he said, now that I look back, I wish I would have gone in there and made a few more adjustments throughout the game defensively. I wish I, would have been a little bit more hands-on. And so that tells me that, yes, that game was impacted. He was not as dialed in specifically on the defense because he had to be the head coach. It's a whole different role. And he kind of came out and said that. I mean, verbatim quote he said was, I would have made a few different adjustments throughout the game defensively. So I'm going to certainly going back and going to be better that way moving forward. So
when you hear that he says he's going to be better moving forward, do you actually believe the words that
I actually do believe it? I do. Yeah. I think he probably goes and looks at what happened in that game and said, okay, I'm not going to neglect that, or I'm not going to leave that up to so-and-so moving. I will make sure that I do that, whatever that is.
That is exactly how I feel because, again, the way that he's able to take initiative and not blame other people for what's going on. I mean, that's something that already you feel a step in the right direction.
Right. Well, we had just been fed a line of crap for so many weeks in a row, hearing the same stuff that, you had no confidence. It was just basically coach speak at that point.
Right.
It said the same thing, no change, and you didn't expect anything to get any different. And I don't know why, even in Hugh Freeze's brain, I think he was trying to convince himself more than he was us in the press room that, hey, we're close, things are going to change. When DJ Durkin, again, hate to continue to say the same thing, but his quote, I really wish looking back, I would have made a few different adjustments throughout the game defensively. So I'm certainly going to be better that way moving forward. I truly, like you said, believe what he's saying, that he understands in that amount of time the things that maybe were allowed to be let go, that he's not going to let go anymore. He's going to personally make sure. And again, him being thrust into that job, having to be the head guy, you knew there was going to be some things that, he had to rely on some other people to handle. And maybe now he understands what can be allowed to be handled by others and what can't be, and where his attention needs to be. So, I thought that was a good answer there. He was asked also on having to split time between both sides of the ball. As interim coach, he said, it's really important the team understands that you're present on both sides of the ball and supported in every way. I think Derek Nix did a great job preparing offense. He and I have a lot of conversations about what the plan is, what he wants it to look like. He does a great job of executing from that plan with our players. It's just a matter of they don't understand and get what the role is. So right now, still partially defense coordinator, but I do believe that it's important, everything. So with all that being said, those answers tell you why things weren't probably so buttoned up on defense like they have been the majority of the year. But you also see why there was a massive improvement offensively. So you kind of gave a little bit on one side and you got a little bit more on the other. Now you got to balance them out.
Yeah. I like how he said that it's not offense, defense. It's just our team. This is our team. It's not any one side of the ball. I do think he's, as an interim head coach, committed to both sides. But I don't know. I do just really, I respect the way he addresses everything, and I really do believe everything that he says. And maybe, maybe I'm being naive but
no, I don't think so.
I do think he says everything with, the passion to make the team better, not just linear.
I'll give you another example that makes me feel confident is that, he said going into the game with Vanderbilt, he said, well, our goal is to let our playmakers make plays. Well, we've heard that before, right? Well, guess what happened in the Vanderbilt game? They let their playmakers make plays. And then in the post game, he did. And, at the end of the game or in the post game, he was asked the question, what was so different? Why did Auburn have such an offensive explosion? He goes, I just think it's as simple as getting the ball to your playmakers, and we did tonight. Cam Coleman, Eric Singleton, Jeremiah Cobb, and he was right. It's sometimes you can overthink all this stuff. You just got to find ways to get the ball in the guys' hands that can make plays for you. And prior to the Vanderbilt game offensively, Auburn was not doing that, which is asinine, unbelievable, just all the dang descriptive words in the dictionary you can use on how poor the offensive game plan was in getting the ball to guys like Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons, Eric Singleton, Jeremiah Cobb. The list goes on and on. Makes no sense whatsoever. But moving forward, I think Saturday with Deuce in there or Jackson or the combination of both, you're going to see the ball getting in the hands of playmakers. In the Iron Bowl, you're going to be seeing the ball getting in the hands of playmakers. That's all you can ask. Go out there and give your best. And if a team beats you when you're playing and giving your best, you tip your hat. But when you go out there and you have one of the best players in the country in Cam Coleman and you go, well, we just, he got 2 targets or he got three catches. And it's unacceptable.
Can we see like a cleaner game where we're not having penalties fly left and right every single second?
Yes, that was another part of why Auburn lost that game against Vanderbilt. We talked about it. All the things and going into overtime.
Why has Auburn lost a lot of these games? I know a lot of it is the offense and the play calling and everything. But the
self-inflicted wounds. I mean, clean up the penalties just like Auburn in free throws on Sunday. Make your free throws, you beat Houston. Don't have 12 penalties against Vanderbilt, you probably beat them in regulation. I mean,
Auburn doing what Auburn does, right?
That's right. I mean, Auburn is its own worst enemy most of the time.
Speaking of Auburn being its own worst enemy, can Jordan-Hare get its mojo back of being the scary place to be? Because 6:30 on Saturday is going to feel like it is freaking midnight with how dark it gets and how early it's getting dark. It's going to feel like it is 12 o'clock in the morning. Can this place be a scary place to play? Can it be 12 o'clock and let this actually be a haunted place that you go in and you play and it be the Iron Bowl with all the electric fans there packed? Is this going to be the Jordan-Hare that we once knew?
Can Auburn just actually have something go right this year?
No.
And again, the season, the record's going to suck, but how great would it be to come in and
on that note?
Yes, awesome. And build the momentum.
What is Auburn playing for? Literally just pride and can you make Jordan-Hare scary?
And it's and
let Alabama just get shoot out, knocked down.
And let's be honest, and a lot of pressure on Kalen DeBoer. Didn't make the playoffs last year. Won 9 games last year. Didn't make the playoffs. Got a chance to win 9 games. I mean, more than that this year. But if he goes 9-3 this year and doesn't make the playoffs again, and he loses to this Auburn team, I'm just saying there's still a faction of Alabama fans that are not bought into him. And he has not made, it's his second year. And it's asinine to think that a guy could go 9-3 2 years in a row and you would even contemplate getting rid of him. I know Alabama's got high standards, but that's a realistic thing. I mean, especially with the way things play out. Now, again, there's more pressure now because they lost that game to Oklahoma to come into the Iron Bowl, and it's almost a must win. I mean, because of the 12 playoff spots, and you don't want to be sitting there, with a committee hoping that they're going to put you in. They didn't last year. They did not last year. So what makes you think they're going to do it this year, especially if you lose to a team with a losing record? Okay. So again,
Oh my goodness.
you look at the last couple of times in Jordan-Hare Stadium, Alabama was clearly the better team. They won the games, but one went into overtime and the other one was won on a 4th and 31, which was one of the stupidest, idiotic plays ever. I mean, let's rush 3 guys and just let somebody sit back there till whenever and just no pressure. I mean, you have to score. You can't
That
get
was
a
one
first
of
down.
those like Auburn moments when, it's the Iron Bowl or the Kick Six where you're like, I remember exactly where I was at that moment. I remember exactly.
Oh man, I tell you.
that moment.
So it'll be a 6:30 kickoff. It'll be the first time Auburn looking for an upset for the first time at night since 2007. So again, we'll kind of see. I was on the sideline for the 97 Iron Bowl. That game was at night. Jarrett Holmes kicks the field goal to win the game. Everything looked bleak, looked like Alabama was going to roll in there and get their first win at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And Alabama decided to throw the football for some stupid reason, and I'm glad they did. And Martavius Houston hit Ed System, knocked the ball up in the air, and we recovered the ball. And Jarrett Holmes, I think we got one first down to get us into field goal range, and we kicked the field goal to win the game. And I'll never forget it. I mean, there's been some unbelievable games at night in Jordan-Hare Stadium in the Iron Bowl. But this one, again, will set up to be a team for Alabama that's not very good offensively. I mean, they're decent, but their running game is almost non-existent. Go look at where they're ranked. So They've been one-dimensional. Ty Simpson throws for a bunch of yards, but he's thrown his share of picks too this year, and there's going to be a lot of pressure, and he understands that pressure too. And there's something about playing in that game, and fans can say, and talking heads can say, "Oh, well, it doesn't matter." No, it matters. Like rivalry games matter to the people that are playing in the game. So they're going to know there's a lot riding on it, and they know where what's going to happen if they lose. So they're going to come in and probably give you their best effort, but Auburn should play loose in that game. Auburn should have no pressure on their back, because they're not really playing for anything, like you said, other than pride.
That's exactly what it is at this point. I mean, how much more pride can Auburn lose after this whole season?
We'll figure out another way we'll find another unique way to lose a game, but it just feels different. The energy feels different, and I think Auburn, Mercer don't kind of toss them to the side.
Can't overlook them.
They're 9-1, and I know they play in the schedule's much different. But hey, look, give credit where credit's due. Go out and execute, get better, build off what you did at Vanderbilt, and prepare for what's coming in 2 weeks. So I think that's the key thing about all of that. So, all right, let's get back to some more of our sponsors. The Cart Source in Dayville, but it's right there on Highway 280. If you're going from Auburn to Birmingham, it's right there on the left before you get into Dayville. Alabama's premier golf cart superstore with Easy Go, Cushman, Yamaha, and Club Car. And if you know anything about golf carts, those are the top brands in the business. And if you're looking for a 2-seater, a 4-seater, a 6-seater, if you're looking to lease one, you're looking to buy it, customize it, whatever it is that you're looking for, they'll do it for you. Go check them out. The phone number is 334-231-2205. Go see our guy Harrison there. Tell him the Auburn Blitz sent you, and he'll hook you up down there. Sales, service, parts, rentals, they got it all. Go check them out, the Cart Source.
Oliver Ross, if you need any professional and licensed bartenders for any holiday parties, any work conventions, weddings, or any sort of sorority or fraternity date parties, Oliver Ross is going to be the bartending service for you. It is important to have licensed and professional bartenders. You don't want Brett to be the one pouring all your drinks at your holiday date parties because people probably won't be making it home. So
Think
you want
I'm
to make
making them
sure
a little bit stiff.
yeah, you might have a heavy hand when you pour. I don't know.
Might.
So make sure you call on Oliver Ross. They're going to be the people for you. I mean, you don't even have to clean up after them because they do that themselves. And that right there should just sell them within itself, because that sells me on them each time I say it.
No doubt. No doubt. And if you ever go to a function where they're serving, you'll understand why they're the best. One of the top 3 best hospitals in the state of Alabama. I didn't name them that. Faith didn't name them that. They were named through the association that names the best hospitals. And they're part of the UAB healthcare system, and they have all the things that you need as far as big time medical care in a small town environment. And that is so attractive to so many people. Right, Faith? You can personally attest to that.
Absolutely.
So make sure you check out Russell Medical Center. If you're tired of fighting the hassle of big city traffic and all the stuff that goes with it, come check out Russell Medical Center. And if they don't have the services in Alexander City for you, they're going to link you to the right people and to the right hospital, because they're part of UAB Health. And I don't know that there's a better healthcare network in the world. And so make sure you check out Russell Medical Center. They're so nice over there. Appreciate everybody that we work with. Go check them out, Russell Medical Center. All right, Faith, a couple more things on the recruiting trail. Listen to this. December 3rd is around the corner. Auburn's got 13 commitments in this class. They've got some pretty good players in this class. They're trying to hold on to them. Braylon Womack being one of them that just visited Texas A&M. Auburn's trying to fend off the Sharks, DJ Durkin, all of that. And Braylon Womack's been pretty bought in since day one. You know, Faith, when he committed, he said nothing but positive things. There's been a coaching change since then. There's some uncertainty. Obviously, Texas A&M has a lot of momentum. He was there for that comeback against South Carolina. So wouldn't be shocked if he flipped just by hearing some of the things he said. But the recruiting won't be over. He'll be back for the Iron Bowl. So Auburn's going to have their chance. And then, you know, Peyton Falzon, the quarterback, that number 13 quarterback in the class, you know, they're saying possible flip maybe to Syracuse. Syracuse has really ramped up their recruiting there of him. Going to have to fight for all these guys. And you got to get to December 3rd, and then you got the second portal window in January. And then you've got the second signing day on February 4th. So it's going to be extremely crucial. You see why John Cohen did say, as soon as he can after the Iron Bowl, would like to name the head coach, because all of these dates are massively important.
Yeah, not just for these recruits, but like you said, the transfer portal. You want to have this roster. You want to try to maintain the roster that you have with the roster retention, so that you don't have to go out there and get a ton of guys,
Right.
But see what you're working with, because you don't want to at last minute have to say, I'm scrambling. Half of my roster is leaving,
Right.
because we didn't have a head coach who we knew was going to be here. So many things were going into it. But, I mean, you're still looking at who is the guy, who's going to be the one that comes in and picks Auburn up and picks the pieces up where they were thrown on the floor, while DJ Durkin is trying to pick up all the pieces off the floor, but he doesn't have enough time. I mean, there's just not enough time for everything.
There's not. So it's all sandwiched into a very small window, and you know, Auburn's going to have to navigate that. They're going to have to get a coach. They're going to have to retain the roster. They're going to have to retain the commitments they have in the class. They're going to have to add some more to the class. 13's all they got, so they're going to have to add some more. It's, you know, so there's a lot of moving parts there. All right, basketball tomorrow. We'll talk more about that as we get there. You and I'll be there for that game against Jackson State, and we'll be on location tomorrow at Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine.
Yes, we will. I was like, I don't even know what day it is, because
we never do. We never do.
But yeah, we're going to be at Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. We're going to have the Outlive Burger. Super excited to try it. I mean, what, 20% of the proceeds go to Outlive. And so, I mean, it's only, I think, $15.99 for the meal itself.
Right.
With sides. I mean, you can't.
I know we're excited.
Oh,
very excited. Come join us
when I go to Pepper Tree. Are you kidding me?
It's like one of the best places on earth. Go out. Yeah, exactly. Come hang out with us. If you're in the area, come see us at Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. We'd love to see you out there. So make plans for that. So, all right, Faith, anything else here this morning?
No, I hope everyone has the best day ever.
Absolutely. And go be nice to people. And again, reminder, the noon show today, I'll give a practice report a little bit later on, see what things look like. And then Faith and I'll be back with you tomorrow at lunch for the Auburn Blitz live from Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. As Faith said, have a outstanding day, and we'll see you tomorrow.